is the one word that makes everyone's spine shiver, as it should. Studies show that cancer has supplanted HIV and AIDS and has become Kenya's third highest cause of death in absolute numbers. But what exactly is this cancer? We went outside to find out if people really do understand what this deadly disease is.
Cancer, the right definition I don't know, but I know it's a killer disease that's disturbing. It's bringing trouble actually in Africa and all the whole world.
I know cancer is a dangerous disease. It is painful. The much I know about cancer, is painful. Yeah.
Cancer, to me, manze, that's a killing disease. Because, as in to me, yo ugonjwa inaua. As in, wase most I take it seriously.
Sijakuwa na family or a friend when amekuwa na cancer. Yeah, but I always hear of experiences from other people that are very painful. Yeah.
Beshte yangu, and she died.
Yeah, I have an uncle who died from cancer. He died in 2008. Actually, he knew that he had cancer after 1 year, thinking that it was just a simple disease that was affecting the leg, but it was a leg cancer after it was found by doctors from the New Nyanza Hospital.
Hiyo sasa siwezi kuambia.
Hiyo pengine hiyo ugonjwa siwezi kukuambia vile juu sijawahi patwa naye. Lakini najua kuna kuwa na cancer.
It was a bad feeling actually because he left small kids behind and one wife. So actually that burden now comes to the other side of the family, so that we should look again for we should look after the children and the wife too, because he didn't have that big income so that could sustain the family for a long time.
To me, it's hurting. Because wase most wamepass, then they hawaichukuli serious. As in ukienda hosi wambo uko na cancer, the next thing una take as in you just kill yourself.
Since I've gone to school, the first thing I'll just do is just go to the hospital so that they can check up on me. After I've been told that, so I go, at least I can see if I can prevent it so that it cannot spread to the body, so that I go to that bad stage. Yeah.
Of course, it's a bad feeling. As in, I'll just be wishing, no, wacha isikuwe hata kama iko. Yeah, because I know it's painful.
Sasa hapo siwezi jua. Sintu nitakasema tu haizuru. Ngoje siku zangu ziishe.
Cancer inastua tano katumbao. Inastua watu kuliko enti.
Definitely.
Zote mbili nasikianga zi mzuri. Njuu kwanza, mimi najua kama kuna rafiki yangu mmoja ameshakufa na kansa na mwingine nimeshaona mwingine amekufa na ukimwi. Kwa hivyo zote si ugonjwa hata kufurahia vile.
Okay, let me say, cancer, you can be depressed very fast more than having AIDS. Because AIDS, you have immediate cure and it's not that expensive because the ARVs are always just found within us and they are free. Cancer, you must pay so that you be treated, and actually it's not to be done in Kenya. I'm so sure about that. And when it's done in Kenya, it's expensive than going even to India. So it can bring that depression, even not the sickness itself killing you. The depression can kill you fast than AIDS. When you have AIDS, you cannot be depressed that much because stigmatization, at least it has been. Actually, the stigmatization in Kenya, at least nowadays, we can see people are being aware about AIDS, not cancer. Yeah.
I know of skin cancer, I know cervical cancer, throat cancer. Sometimes, maybe the much I know about skin cancer, our lifestyle nowadays, like things like tattoos, cause cancer.
Okay, cancer, first I know it's inherited, it's always inherited. Then second, I think not a balanced diet, I think can also cause cancer. Then also exposed to they call something that you could be exposed to, like things like lead, things like things. They're just things. I don't know. The things cause the environment. The environment causes them. Then our surroundings causes cancer.
Uvutaji wa sigara, pombe, za ingine. Wezi vitu za ulevi hizo.
As seen, many people attribute to it as being a deadly disease, but there has been a few success stories which we may want to highlight, that it does not necessarily mean a death sentence. Cancer can be managed, and against all odds, people do survive it.
I'm Enoch Masai. I came for the first time to Kenyatta Hospital in 1980. They did investigation. They found I had goiter. But the doctor who was there by then said it was, the goiter I had was metastatic, or it had some tumor. So in this case, he advised that it was not good for operation because it would multiply. You know what cancer is. Something being a tumor or metastatic, it means if you start interfering with it, it is going to spread to all parts of the body. And if it has spread, then you know that is the end of you. So when I just heard of that, I said no. Let me stay on this earth the days God has given me. But I did not feel anything until 2012. It's now when I started noticing some changes in the body. And as I have said, I was supposed to go to Moi Referral Hospital because it's nearer home. But I have said I refused. And I purposely refused. And this one I can be quoted. In Moi Referral Hospital, in most cases they use internship doctors. Even if they are oncologists, they don't have the experience. I thank the government of Kenya because in the Kenyatta National Hospital, Doctors Plaza, if you get a chance of entering there, you have all the personnel that they need for cancer of the goiter, of the thyroid. Because when I came there, I got Dr. Njuguna, who did his best. After having played his role, he referred me to Dr. Ndirangu. Dr. Njuguna, they were doing what they call head scan in Mpisha Hospital. That is where everything took place. Then after he had done the head scan well, is the one who recommended me to Dr. Ndirangu. They will, in most cases, scan the head. They will scan the head. And that is now where the revelation will come from because it will now show the problem you have on the head, like what I have now shown you. So it is as from that they recommended I go for operation. And the operation was to remove the thyrox totally. As I am this time, I don't have the thyrox. And because I'm not a doctor, what I know, the thyroid, I'm still repeating, the thyroid plays a very big role in the body. So without it, you see, the body cannot function well. So it's when Dr. Ndrang said they should operate me, and because the goiter is showing some metastasis or a tumor, it must be removed in total. And maybe what I was fearing in 1980, according to that doctor, it had not grown to the cancer they thought would make me die very, very quickly. So when they did it and removed, you can even see it has not spread. Instead, its strength is dwindling, and I know it will come to the end.
Cancer is an abnormal growth of cells, and the body is made up of cells, like small units of the body, and if they grow abnormally, they can cause trouble because they will not be in the right place at the right time. Cancer is common. The good news is when it's detected early, it's actually treatable. Many cancers are actually easy to treat when they are detected early. The other thing is the cancers, if they are not well detected in a good time or early, they can lead to death. But I also want you to know that cancer itself is not a death sentence. And it's important to go early for screening so that you know whether you have it or you don't have it, so that the treatment can start. Because many cancers are actually treatable. And there are some cancers that are treatable 100%. Yeah. There are others people will have to live with, but majority of cancers are treatable if they are detected early.
So, Daktari, how can one prevent it?
The single most important way of preventing cancer is to stop smoking for those people who are smokers. And for those people who have unhealthy lifestyles, they need to go back to healthy lifestyles. And unhealthy lifestyles range from not eating well, eating a lot of red meat, drinking a lot of beer and alcohol in general, and eating a lot of junk food, which has what we call saturated fat, or what we would call unnecessary sugars that the body doesn't need. All that contributes to having cancer. We also have other categories of cancers that are acquired through other lifestyle problems, like cervical cancer is one of the cancers that is related to sexual promiscuity, or having many sexual partners, because it's linked with a virus that is spread sexually. Yes, Anki. So as I was saying about cancer, I want to do an illustration that will show us what cancer is really about and how it comes to be. So this is what happens. In a normal cell, you have something that looks nicely rounded and it has a small inside of it, which we call a nucleus. The nucleus is the part of the cell, more like the brain of the cell, that takes charge of everything the cell does. And this other part is what we call the cytoplasm. The cytoplasm is like a foot soldier of the nucleus. The nucleus contains one of the things we hear about by the name DNA, which has a long scientific name that I'm not going to mention. And DNA is what determines what the cell does, more or less like the inner you in the brain. The brain is what tells you what to do and what not to do. When you have cancer, the DNA changes through a process that has some medical name. And when the DNA changes, the cell does not remain as it was. And for purposes of illustration, I will draw a cell that looks funny and ragged. And the nucleus of the cell also looks funny and ragged. And that's what happens in cancer. And when you have cancer, and you have a normal cell like this one around here, it will interfere with this normal cell because this normal cell is meant to work together with a normal cell, not a cancerous cell. And if you have a situation where you have a cancer cell, it will multiply itself and become many more cells. A cell is one unit, and it can multiply to make more units. The symptoms can either be local at the place where the cancer has started, or the symptoms can even go to another part of the body, depending on what the cancer has done to the other part of the body. And for your information, cancer has ability to move from one part of the body to the other part. So the good news is that when cancer is detected early, by the time it's detected, it will not have destroyed different parts of the body. And so it's easy to sort it out at the level where it has started. And that's the take-home message. The cancer is treatable, but it needs to be detected early. And that's why you need to go for cancer screening.
Thank you, Dr. Now that leads me to the most asked question. Now the most asked question today is, can stress cause cancer? Well, let's hear what Dr. has to say.
So I want to make it clear that stress can predispose towards getting cancer as it lowers immunity. But it does not directly cause cancer. And for purposes of proper information, cervical cancer is not just caused by stress. Cervical cancer is a specific cancer that has what we call predisposing factors and risk factors, and the main risk factor is improper sexual behavior, which mostly just means sexual behavior without protection. And the spread of a certain virus called the HPV virus is the key towards this, the risk factor for cervical cancer. And the HPV virus is spread sexually. So if you're out there and you have improper sexual behavior, you don't use protection, it's important for you to know, if you're a girl or a woman, that you're predisposing yourself towards the possibility of getting cervical cancer. And there's good news. Cervical cancer has a vaccine. So this vaccine is already readily available and it's in the market even here in Kenya, and it is given to women before they get sexually active. So for mothers out there, you have a daughter, you want to protect that daughter, let her come or be given the cervical cancer vaccine before she becomes sexually active, because it protects against the virus that is spread sexually, and this is the virus that over years can predispose to getting cervical cancer.
In the case of nose bleeding, the old first aid course approach of bending the head backwards while pinching the nose is no longer the practice. As anyone who has undergone this experience can detect a redirection of blood flow to their stomach. Now we have come to the end of this episode on the Focus on Health, where we talked about cancer. But something that came out strongly today is you need to go regularly for checkups, because the earlier the better. That is, it can be detected, it can be treated, and yes, well, it can be managed. But thing is, that is a good news today, and one of the reasons that I am standing here today smiling is because young ladies can now get a vaccine for cervical cancer. If you're a mother, an aunt, or a young girl who's educated, take that chance, be that vigilant, and get yourself healthy. Well, my name is Anki Doris Ombat. I have been your host for this very exciting episode on Focus on Health, and Daktari.
Dr. Theo.
He's always saying the only thing you can do for yourself is stay healthy. But remember to keep interacting with us on our social media platforms at the bottom of your screen. Ask questions, we will always answer them. But for now, until next time we bring you more, I'm just going to say goodbye.
Bye-bye.